Hey everybody, this is Linwood Fields, producer at the Audience Awards. I'm really excited about today's Facebook Live. We have Tom Stagg and Brent Bluehouse here today. And the way we first met these guys was that they were the top 12 2014 Fusion Doc Challenge winners, and they screened at Slamdance. And real briefly, I just want to hear about your guys' experience with that, and then we're going to move on to their experience now doing short film and social change at Standing Rock. So maybe just a little bit about Fusion and kind of what that did for you guys and opened up your world with filmmakers.
Yeah, well, it was fun. Tom and I and Kirsten got together and well, let's try this. Let's when you do this and get a little team together. And we had all worked with each other before on other projects, and so it was very easy for us to get together and get that cranked out and put together a really cool short film at GMOs.
Yeah. We had a team of like 7 people, I think, plus a couple of musicians who recorded for us. And everyone seemed to have, for some reason, we all had some free time because we used every bit of our time. And we got one draft done. It was our first draft, and it's crazy because we feel like that film now is just sitting there, hasn't been worked on. It screened. It was a good film. It was a good complete draft, but that's all it was. That's all you can expect in 5 days.
Yeah. So at Slamdance, for our new people who are going this year, was there anything that you'd like to tell them that they should do, or that you might get out of it? I mean, even today, it seems like you guys are friends with people you met there.
Right.
Yeah. Take business cards, a lot of business cards, and just be willing and open to walk up to anybody and everybody, because it's the other festivals going on too. So there's just tons of people you don't know if you're standing next to a producer or a fellow director or someone you're going to work with sound in the future, and that those connections I still have with a few people I met there.
Yeah, and talk about your film, because we were having a conversation in line, and then we realized one of the founders of Slamdance was standing in front of us, and he turned around and just started interviewing us about our film on the spot there, and it turned out that he was actually really into our subject, which was GMOs, was a controversial subject, and turned out that this guy was really into genetics, and he does like home genetics experimentation, and he and his wife they like to do gene hacking, and so we're like, wow, he knows a lot more about this than we even do.
Well, yeah, speaking of controversial topics, something I really want to get into is film, especially short film for social change. And I know you guys were both at Standing Rock, and obviously we see a lot of stuff coming out about short film there, and for a long time the mass media wasn't there, so it was independent filmmakers. I want to hear about your guys' experience at Standing Rock, and then we'll kind of take it from there. But tell me a little bit about it from your perspective, people that are actually there.
Yeah. Geez, I've been out there 3 times now in different capacities. Once with Tom, once was really briefly to take supplies out and hit the ground running, and then this past weekend with the veterans, we're all out there, over 2,500 veterans. So this last time it was the weather, we were minus minus 9 degrees weather with a wind chill of up to 60 miles an hour. So filming that is pretty tough. And I went out there with Talina Sanders, and she got a lot of good footage. When we went out there, Tom and I, we shot a lot of B-roll, got a lot of interviews, and also got arrested out there for filming.
So tell me about that, because I feel like people don't know that that's happening. So why would you get arrested for filming?
Well, we were there primarily, it was his second trip out, and my motivation was they were talking about a media blackout. And that's what we do is we do coverage and we do documentary, and so we went out there and just tried to find out what it was that needed to be seen, and we found from people why they were there, and it was interesting. A lot of people were hesitant to talk to us. It was really only the newer people who had just arrived, unless you were able to set up an interview with somebody. There were interviews happening. There wasn't a lot of man on the street interviewing type thing going on, because a lot of places filming wasn't allowed. There was this layer of, if you know where you can film, then you can, but then even when you get to the right place, there was still a lot of reluctance, and some people who were dubious of who we were and why we were there.
And so do you think filmmaking there is helpful or not helpful, or what was the feeling? I mean, why were people resistant?
It's tough because anyone has a camera out there, and you don't know who these people are, or why they're there, or what story, in what capacity are they going to take this footage, and where are they going to take it, and how they can tell the story. And everyone's with their cameras, and everyone's recording.
We had press passes though. We registered with the press booth there, and they took our picture and made a file on us, and so we were at least involved in that way, and which turned out to kind of save us after we got arrested and put in jail up in the Mandan County Jail. They kind of came to our rescue, and that was really good.
And now tell me again, we haven't really talked about why you get arrested there for filmmaking.
We got a tip from a local that his auntie lived out where right where she could see the pipeline being worked on from her front porch, and so we went out to find her, and he told us exactly how to get there. And we were pretty much stopped on our way there. We were kind of chased by a security guard who had seen us stop on the road to do a stand-up interview with Brent and myself. And when we pulled into a driveway there, he kind of blocked us in until the cops got there, and then we were eventually arrested for pulling into that driveway, which was a trespassing charge. Yeah.
Interesting. Now tell me, you were just there, Brent. I hear mixed feelings on this. Is it stopping, or is it still going?
It's still going. A lot of people left just due to the weather, but a lot of people staying behind. I think they estimate maybe 3,000 people. But people are hunkering down for the winter, and they're going to stay there for the long haul. But
are they still building the pipeline?
Yeah, they're still building the pipeline.
Okay.
And so that's still happening right over the hill.
Okay. And do you think, I can totally see where you guys are saying that nobody knows who's filming and where that story is going to go. Even with that kind of contradiction, do you think that as filmmakers creating these short films are important? Is it making a difference? Is it not? I would like to know your perspective on that as filmmakers. Like, what do you plan to do with this film?
For me, I think it's going to be a retroactive piece, but it's not going to be done until maybe next summer or whenever this ends at all. But documentary work, it really never ends. You can keep going, but there has to be a cutoff date. But I think it is making a difference. When I was there, all the stuff that I posted, on Facebook was, shared and shared and shared and shared, and people who didn't even know this was going on, we actually saw, well, this is really going on. And I was like, yeah, I was out there. Been talking to people just around town, in Phoenix, all over the country, really. And people
it may become something bigger too. Not necessarily bigger than just this story, but this story may be representative of America right now, and this may, this footage and these interviews, may serve a much more general documentary in the future too.
So when you're saying bigger, you're saying short film as social change in the times that we live in right now, that we need documentary filmmakers almost more than ever, especially independent.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Brent, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Talking a little bit, can you tell me a little bit about your tribal background and then the barrier to entry for Native Americans creating films? What you've seen, is that a true statement from your perspective?
Well, I was born and raised on the Navajo Nation in northeastern Arizona. Full-blood Navajo. Heading back down there soon to do some film work down there. Barrier to entries. I started at UNM, and just by chance, a couple professors of mine wanted me to do some editing, and that's kind of how the whole ball started. So it's, I guess, a formal background would help. I know I'm still learning every day. Like, I got my MFA at also. But I think that, resources, I have Native American friends all over the country that are filming in that capacity, that a true perspective. And that's what I go after too, is, telling Native American stories from a Native American perspective, as opposed to telling Native American stories that are non-Native, and to really get in there and tell the truth about it.
And obviously, Tom, you're not Native American, so Brent and Tom, what are your feelings about working together on this kind of story? I want to know about the ally piece in that.
Well, he just talked me into it. You know, Brent went out there the first time with another guy who was also not native, right? And he was, and they brought all this gear out there, and he came back and started telling me about all this stuff that was happening, and of course I want to go, and I actually, you know, very much sympathized with the cause too, and so I went, and it was actually really, I didn't feel like, you know, I was getting treated any differently than Brent out there. You know, we went there with our mission was to do documentary work, and put it this way, like Brent was getting said no to as much as I was, you know, as far as you know, filming and such.
So it is really a symbol of more than just it's bigger. We all can do this kind of together. It needs to kind of happen like that, or
and when you go out, you go out there, and I've worked with Tom on a number of projects too. So it's one of those things where you already know what Tom could do, and you don't have to lead him, you know, that kind of thing. So it's just like, Tom, we want to go. This is what's happening. So let's go out and do it.
Are you thinking of going back?
Oh yeah.
Any final words? Maybe too, like I know you've got a little bit of footage, just maybe we could just see a quick bit of the footage, and then maybe your goal for when we could see it and support it.
Yeah. I have actually a little piece we kind of put together. It's only 45 seconds, so.
Empowering one person, you know, you never know what the impact will be. Is empowering them to take action, and then who knows what the next fight will be. We need more of these leaders to fight those fights in the future too.
It's not about any of us. It's about our future here. It's about Mother Earth. It's about, you know, sustainability.
It's still going, it's still being built. It's sad.
Wow. Well, you guys, thank you for spending your time with us. This is super important, and I, for one, am really excited to follow your guys' career.
Thank
Thank you
you
very much
guys.
for having us. Appreciate it.